Are you bold enough to love the terrible things in your life as much as you love the great things? Because it's all yours. It was the gift that was given to you, your path in life, your experience. You're being called front and center right now. The world needs you right now for you. Needs you as you, not a clone of somebody else. There isn't 7.9 billion people on this planet to be clones of each other. You are a unique expression of you, and you're the only person on the planet in the history of existence that will ever get to be this version of you. So stop complaining and focusing about what you're not or where you're not or what you don't have, and start owning what you've done and what you've conquered and who you've helped and the impact you've made and where you're going and how you're going to live your life, and make that stand right now with the decision that I'm going to right that ship as fast as I can. I'm going to balance myself back every chance I get, and I'm going to love myself and this life even when it's difficult, because even if it's difficult, it's the only one I've got. Welcome to the Do the Impossible podcast. I'm Jason Drees. And sometimes things don't go your way. Sometimes things don't go your way at all, like recording this podcast episode. I've literally started this episode 4 times, and the first time, an airplane flew over my head. The second time, the house cleaner's vacuum bumped up against my door. The third time, more airplanes. Yes, the house I'm currently living in backs to a private airport. And I just wonder, why would anyone want to live next to an airport? It's just ridiculous. Because even with best laid plans, it doesn't really go our way. Sometimes it does. How much time? I was so mad. I was like, fuck it. I was pissed. I was like, oh my God. I had a little space in my calendar. I knew what I was going to talk about. I was going to start the episode about how life works. And I was going to share a little bit, and I laid it out. And as I tried to do it, it wouldn't come out. It started to come out, and I kept getting interrupting by an airplane, buzzing my house, the vacuum cleaner, something else buzzing the house, the kids downstairs on the TV. What if it doesn't go your way? What do you do then? What I teach people is well, that's a reaction, right? There's a reaction to life that happens. It's a reaction. You're having a reaction. Got to get out of reaction. How do you get out of reaction? Process the reaction. How do you process the reaction? Well, you could scream, you could yell, you could drink a beer, you could run. But processing the reaction, that's where life mastery comes into play, where you learn to process reactions faster to get back into balance. Because what actually happens is life is a reflection of you. The life that's unfolding in front of you is based on the frequency of you. And a lot of times, the frequency of us in this present moment is a reaction to something we don't want. How much of your life have you spent taking action from a place of reaction? Another way to put that is, how much of your life have you spent taking action from a place of resistance, a place of self-judgment, a place of regret, a place of want? Because it's a perfectly normal human reaction to operate that way. It absolutely is. It's it's an instinct. It's your system. It's your emotional system reacting to the world, creating feedback for you. And even right now, as I'm recording, I can hear my kids fighting downstairs. Am I calm? No. I'm a little tense right now. My chest feels tight. And as much as I wanted to create this powerful episode where I'm delivering this content, this is what showed up right now, is what seems like to be the opposite emotional state and energy that I wanted to be in when I started. So I can continue to fight it with resistance, or I can just go with what is. And right now, as much as I wanted to be calm, cool, collected, I'm a little irritated and I'm frustrated. So I guess this podcast is about Jason being irritated or being frustrated. Because that's the name of the game right now. How fast can you get back into balance? Because we are conditioned, programmed to live our life based on a reaction. We wake up, we look at our life. I look at my bank account, my relationship, my children, my house, my job, and based on do I like that or not, changes the action I take. Most of the time, what I've found, the vast majority of my life, like literally 95% of my life, the action I've been taken is from a negative place of reaction. It's from a disempowered starting point. Like if you have an argument with your husband or your wife or your boyfriend or your girlfriend, and you're mad and angry, are you going to make the best decisions when you're pissed off and angry or sad or hurt? No. You're having an emotional reaction. The best starting point is a place of neutrality, of balance, being non-emotional, level-headed. I can take into account all the information. But that's not how we end up living the majority of our life. And what the game I've been playing a lot lately, and the game my clients who are killing it are playing lately, is how fast can you get out of reaction? Oh my God, life comes up, something unexpected. Bam, you're thrown off. Does that take you down for days of anger and frustration? How did this happen to me? Why did this happen to me? I don't know. This is terrible. Or can you right yourself back up? Right that ship. A wave comes and knocks that ship over and it leans to the side. But that ship is designed to right itself automatically. Are you allowing yourself to right yourself back to center? Or are you aligning with the negative emotional egoic reaction of being hurt? Now, there's no right or wrong. Those reactions are there to help guide you into the evolved version of you. The evolved version of you sees past the reactions and has solved all of the things that are causing reactions. Because the reactions that you're having to the world are based on your beliefs about the world, like your belief system. You didn't create your belief system. You didn't. It was created by your environment, your upbringing, and everything. And all of those emotions we have when things don't go our way, if we could actually make a choice, we would most likely choose to not have those reactions and just, I can be the bigger person and react that way. But we don't, because we have an outdated mindset, an outdated belief system, an outdated point of view that needs to be updated. So how you move forward in the highest, best possible way is to notice when you're in reaction and to not just calm the reaction, but absolutely calm the reaction till you process the emotional, energetic reaction, because there's energy you're processing there. What you really want to do is dive into the cause of that reaction. And the cause of that reaction is what you believe about that situation. So, for example, as I started to record this podcast and a plane flies over me and the vacuum cleaner hits the door of my office and I get angry, I could ask myself, why are you angry, Jason, that there's an airplane noise and there's a vacuum cleaner out the door? And my mindset tells me, well, because podcast recording needs to be quiet. It's going to interrupt my flow. It needs to be polished and professional. And that's what it needs to look like. And that was the belief structure, the filter that viewed that life situation, went through my mindset filter and caused that reaction. Now, does the podcast have to have silence? Well, yeah, you have to hear it. Does it have to be cool, calm, collected? Apparently, no. Because I wrote a script and right now I'm just completely going off of it. Because I was angry and I'm still a little angry, still a little tense in there. But there was a belief that I was operating from that it had to be this way. Can you tell? Like there was a belief that it had to be this way. And the belief that it had to be this way, it had to be perfect and polished and amazing and powerful, which are big standards. Hard to live up to, yeah? Things you can't always control. And also the things that I usually talk about are aligned with what's going on in life right now. So when it comes up like that, it's like, well, clearly I want it to be a certain way, And life said it's not happening that way today. So I can be mad about it. One belief level is mad about it. If we go to a higher level, I could say, well, actually, it's unfolding the only way it could, the exact way it could. It just happens to look differently than I had anticipated. So I can start to shift my belief and my perspective. So those reactions that were shutting me down before are causing me anger or frustration start to go away and realign me for a greater purpose. Because as much as I thought this episode was going to go this way, it's actually unfolded a different way. And based on the flow that I'm in, it sounds like this is where I was supposed to go. So I am going to get to the end point of recording an episode. That is the end point that's going to happen. I am recording an episode. So I am going to hit my target. How I'm hitting the target, the process is different than I expected. So where in your life right now are you working towards a target and you're resisting the process because it's unfolding differently than you think it should? Because you think it should look differently. Now, I thought this episode was going to look differently than this. I thought it was going to be different. I'm like, the last thing I need is me pissed off and angry and ranting about it. Who's going to want to hear that? But part of me starting to say, this is a more powerful message than the original message was anyway. But I had to show a part of me that wasn't as calm and collected. I have emotions. I'm frustrated. Hey, it's Jason. If you're a struggling entrepreneur and you're ready to level up your income, fill out this form right here because I can help you do that. This 20-minute call will help unlock a higher level version of your success, and it's directly with me. Click this link right now to get started. Is there a journey in your life, a goal in your life that you're working on, that you're literally resisting that first step of progress? Just like I resisted starting this episode because the noise was there and the frustration was there. Is there a journey that you're on right now where you're resisting taking the first or the second step because it doesn't look like what you think it should look like, or because it doesn't feel like what you think it should feel like? My guess is yes. My guess is you are absolutely working on something right now that's not moving at the pace you want it to because the first step or second step doesn't look or feel the way it should. But what if the way it's going to turn out is better than you ever had anticipated? And better than ever you had ever anticipated is going to come from a process that is different than you anticipated. So are you able to take that first step, take that second step, take that third step, despite what your conditioned mind says about how it's supposed to be, and start to take those steps one at a time? Because that's what that path feels like. That's what that path looks like. You can sit there and complain about it, but that path you're on right now looks like this. Now, you know you want to get to the end result. You want to get to that target because that target's going to give you the cash and prizes and the goodies and all that stuff. You want that stuff. We always want stuff. It's one of the drivers. That stuff could be money. It could be free time. It could be relationships. It could be whatever. But here's the thing. The current frequency of you, the current version of you does not have that thing. The version of you at the end that hit the target is a different frequency version of you. It's not something you need to become. It's something that's already inside of you that you need to let out. And the way that you let that version of you out is you live through the process of getting there. And all of those obstacles and all of those challenges and everything that you're facing along the path is the exact formula of growth and life to release that elevated frequency version of you. So when that starting point doesn't feel like it's supposed to feel and doesn't look like it's supposed to look, that's exactly the path you're supposed to be on to become that version of you 100%. That is the way. Can you walk that anyway? Can you take that hit? Can you take that frustration? Can you take that challenge? Can you take that emotion? Can you take that misalignment? Because when you get into alignment, you will grow. Growth will create misalignment, and here we go. Maybe that's your path. Maybe that's the reason why it's not unfolding that way. And maybe that's the simple reason why that when I started recording this episode, I hear airplanes and vacuum cleaners and stuff like that. The interesting thing is that when I stopped resisting what is, the background noises stopped. Interesting. So while I had an idea of what it was supposed to unfold like, life had an entirely different idea. Is this helpful? The funny thing is, what I was originally talking about was how life works, how we're attracting life. And I've told that story so many times. But this way gave an experience of it. So that step you need to take, that target you're moving towards, that obstacle that you're working towards, that doesn't feel good, that doesn't look right, that's got airplane noise and the buzzing in the background, that's got a vacuum cleaner at the door. So what? Fucking deal with it. They're just feelings. They're just feelings. And right now, we're at a time where there's a lot more airplane noises going on and vacuum cleaners. There's the economy airplane noise. There's the recession airplane noise. There's politics airplane noise. There's interest rate airplane noise. There's war airplane noise. How fast can you get realigned? How fast can you process that misalignment to get into alignment? Because staying in an emotional reaction and aligning with your ego or yourself, while it does meet your needs for self-connection and self-alignment, it's only punishing you by not getting back into balance. So the faster you right yourself, the faster you realign yourself, the faster you're back on track. And you were driving down that road and you hit a bump, and the bump threw you off, and the car wobbled a whip. And you know something? So we got to recontrol that car. We got to adjust ourselves. We got to get the steering. We got to take a breath. Lean back in. Keep going. Put your pedal down. Give it gas. Lean into this path. There's nothing that can stop you. There's nothing that can stop you if you are committed to this path. If you are committed to this path, nothing can stop you. It doesn't matter if you get a flat tire, your engine explodes, or your car gets freaking stolen. It doesn't matter. Nothing can stop you if you are committed to this path, because you are powerful, you are amazing, and life is waiting to help you. And life is sitting there trying to help you. Life is trying to give you everything that you want, but you have to get out of reaction, because the present moment is not an indicator of the future. Today is not an indicator of the future. Today, this present moment is the result of the past. Anything can happen next. So whatever you need to get over, whatever you need to process a reaction, process that, get out of reaction, because the faster you do that, the faster you're in alignment with an amazing magic flowing your way. Life is trying to help you all the time. But if you're sitting here going, this isn't working, and this isn't my way, and I can't do this, and I can't do that, what do you think life's going to give you? Because life is a reflection of what you are presently. Life is a reflection of what you are, not a reflection of what you want. And the biggest obstacle for everyone is being the present reflection of what they actually are. And letting that present moment reflection being them and everything they are and everything they want from a place of certainty actually happening. It's there, not a place of resistance. The place to be is a place of, this is my life. I take ownership of everything in it. And what's happened next is going to be amazing. And my life is going to go up and it's going to go down. And it's going to go right and it's going to go left. And it doesn't matter which way it's going to go, because no matter which way my path goes, I'm always going up my mountain. I'm going up my path to success. It's always traveling in that direction. And sometimes I got to go down to go up, and sometimes I got to go up to go down. That's my process, and that's why I'm here to live this. Feel the power in that ownership of your life as you start to live it with a gusto, with an excitement that you can love the ups, the downs, and all of it because it's your life. Are you bold enough to love the terrible things in your life as much as you love the great things? Because it's all yours. It was the gift that was given to you, your path in life, your experience. You're being called front and center right now. The world needs you right now for you, needs you as you, a reflection of you, not a clone of somebody else. There isn't 7.9 billion people on this planet to be clones of each other. You are a unique expression of you, and you're the only person on the planet in the history of existence that will ever get to be this version of you. That's it. So stop complaining and focusing about what you're not or where you're not or what you don't have, and start owning what you've done and what you've conquered and who you've helped and the impact you've made and where you're going and how you're going to live your life, and make that stand right now with a decision that I'm going to right that ship as fast as I can. I'm going to balance myself back every chance I get, and I'm going to love myself and this life even when it's difficult, because even if it's difficult, it's the only one I've got. So, are you ready to lean into your life now? Join me on the next episode when we take this conversation even further. Until then, have an amazing day. I'll talk to you soon. I'm Jason Drees, the Do the Impossible podcast. Bye-bye.